Welcome, Canucks fans, to Kempner Canucks. My name is RevTrev. I'm on vacation, but we're going to be talking about the Canucks unrestricted free agent targets and the ones that could be leaving and the ones that could be adding. Yes, you heard that right. In a rebuild, we're talking about adding to this rebuilding roster. Why don't you stay tuned and check this out? It's going to be good. So the big question we're going to be answering today is, do you think the Canucks should be active during free agency or stay put with what they got, because we are in a rebuild and it depends on what kind of contracts we're going to be giving out, right? So that is one of the biggest keys of this whole thing. And it kind of seems a little weird if we're adding to this organization. But of course, you as a general manager, Ryan Johnson has to look at every option to try to improve this team, right? And I think at this time, we're a bottom five team in the NHL. I mean, obviously, if some people can stay healthy, that's one thing. It's another thing if they can't, like if they can't stay healthy, then it is what it is. But there's some depth. So we've just released a bunch of people, P.O. Joseph, Klemachev gone, all bunch of people that have been released. And but I think there was like 6 players there that were released. I don't think I have them on the screen here. Did I? No, I don't. I don't have them on here. So you saw the list. It is what it is, and it's guys that at this stage haven't been able to crack the lineup or haven't been good enough. So we're going to talk about 3 different players that the Canucks seem to be targeting now. Donnie and Dolly, the great show that's always on. Rick talked about a couple guys that were really interesting today. I know Thomas Drance from The Athletic has talked about 5 players that the Canucks could target, and it would help. But the question I want to start with before I get into those trade targets is, what about Teddy Blueger and Curtis Douglas? Now, I think Teddy Blueger's a great 3C. Incredible. But we're kind of deep in that center position. We couldn't trade him at the deadline. Nobody seemed to want him. And he was only making 1.5 million, but man, I loved watching him play. And it seems like he's going to be the odd man out. We got too many centers. But then Curtis Douglas, the guy who we picked up off of waivers from Tampa Bay, I was impressed by him. Um, didn't hit as much as I'd like or fight as much as like personally, but enough that would get the crowd going. It seems like he's on the move too, that they are not going to re-sign him, and a lot of Canuck fans are frustrated because they love his size, right? I mean, he's like 243 pounds, and it's like those guys are hard to find, but I don't think the Canucks thought that he was good enough to extend. And really, he was making $775,000 last year, and now I mean, the qualifying offer could be 850. I'm sure he would sign it. So he's just trying to stay in the NHL, but someone else is going to pick him up. But I was kind of hoping the Vancouver Canucks would do that. Post in the comments what you thought about that. But again, should the Canucks be active during free agency or stay put? I kind of like the idea of staying put unless it makes a lot of sense. And here's the 3 guys that they keep talking about. So Kevin Stenlund, with a center from Utah Mammoth, 6'3", 213 pounds. Now, this is the thing that I don't understand. So we got Teddy Blueger walking, but we're going to try to add Kevin Stenlund. Okay. Now, I mean, Stenlund has some good pedigree, so I don't want to be critical. For example, Thomas Drance says that he is a big right-handed center who wins draws, plays physical hockey, and though he's actually a pretty solid finisher, brings next to nothing to the table offensively. It's like, I don't know. Why do we want to bring this guy on? I'm not. I mean, maybe the Canucks do. Maybe the Canucks have something planned. Maybe it's just a depth piece, depending on how much it is. I mean, how much would Kevin come for? I don't know. Is he at the tail end of his career in the way of a lot of people not interested in his services just because he doesn't have offensive capabilities? That's the one that you need to look at for sure. But it sounds like the Canucks are in on that. And then as well, Connor Clifton was a right-handed shot defenseman from Pittsburgh. He's 6 feet, 196 pounds. And again, I mean, there's not a lot to write home about this guy. I mean, he's played a lot of years. He's 31 years old. By the way, Stenlund he's 29. So I mean, these are veteran guys at the possibly end of their careers. I mean, um, what's his name? Clifton has played 8 seasons, most of them with Boston, a couple with Buffalo, and he's now with the Pittsburgh Penguins and just finishing off the contract there. I mean, he played 50 games at 6 points and 53 penalty minutes. I just don't see, like, it's just like a PO replacement for P.O. Joseph, I'm assuming. I'm not a huge fan of this idea, honestly, but they know more about hockey than I do. So, by the way, if you hear some of the stuff that's going on, the next door neighbors are doing a massive reno, and it's a beautiful place, an absolute beautiful place they're making over there. So, yeah, I'm out at the cabin. This is a beautiful spot. I'm right at the lake. I should show this to you guys while you're here, right? Like, look at that. Isn't that amazing? So this is my life right now. This is pretty good. The last one that I want to talk about is Jeffrey. Is it Vale? The winger from the Anaheim Ducks, 6'1", 214 pounds. Again, not sure what he's the tough guy, right? The problem that Rick Dollywall said today is that these guys are wanting big money as the enforcers, as the tough guys, as the physical players. So they're looking for about $3 million, and so or like is it McCarron deal kind of thing? That's the one that the Scott McCarron got in Minnesota. That's what they're looking for. I just don't think it's worth it. But again, I'm in the camp of keeping it a little bit less. I'm not really interested, to be honest, in adding some of these depth pieces. And I noticed that I didn't add that one little thing there. I got to add this. So yeah, just those little things bother me that it's not the bracket at the end. Okay, so there it is. So these are the three options that the Canucks have been kind of talking about, sniffing around. I'm under the camp where we should probably stay put with what we have. But maybe those players aren't interested in coming to Vancouver, or maybe they are because no one else is offering them anything. So we have a number of people here wanting to talk about this. Again, before I get into the comments, and if you're here live, post some comments and questions for me. I'd happy to answer them. Also, if you're watching later, put some comments or questions in the comment section too, and I'd appreciate that. Just a reminder, I just think that the Canucks need to rebuild this team the right way. Look what San Jose's doing. That looks like the right way to me. There's a big difference between playoff pretender and cup contender, and I think whatever brings us to cup contention is what we should be going after. I know it's easier said than done, but we're going to dive into it. So let's get into the promo and then get into your comments. So glad you're here. All right, let's dive into the comments and let's see right here. Okay, so Stuart is the first one in the building. Great to see you, Stuart. Glad you're here. Coach Rob is second. And Shannon is in here as well. This is great. There's so many people here on, what is this? I love it when you're on vacation, you don't know what day it is. I think this is Tuesday. Yes, the day before. It's June 30th, the day before July 1st, which is tomorrow. That's why we're talking about unrestricted free agency targets. And I don't think the Canucks are in much going on. How was your morning? My morning was good. It was really good. Okay. So lots of people here. Trev talking on Sakaris and Price. What am I talking on Sakaris and Price? I love Sakaris and Price. They're great people. Is that what S and P mean? Um, I think Blueger needs a new scenery. That's fair. That's fair. Trips, that's totally fair. I just personally have loved watching him as a Canucks player. That's been incredible for me. Yes, Kelly, I've heard these names as well. Um, that teams had target. In fact, I think Thomas Drance talked about that in his article. Yes, he did. AJ Greer, right wing from Florida Panthers, might be one of the league's most underrated players. 29-year-old winger is legitimately excellent. Defensively, he says, and he's physical, and he scored 17 goals this season, putting together a late career offensive breakout in the platform year for the Panthers. Yeah, and the Panthers didn't make the playoffs. And then, is it Malston? Is that you say Mallinston, the right winger from Buffalo? Thomas Brandt said he's a top end skater with local ties who plays smash mouth in your face hockey. What else do you need to know? He's 28 years old, and he's from Delta, and so he seems like he's a defensively reliable and a solid penalty killer. So that might be another reason why the Canucks might go after a guy like Beck for sure. I hope they will re-sign Douglas for a few years. I don't think they are. I hope so too, Kelly. I really hope so. So all the money we've wasted can't pay Douglas $1 million for a dozen home fights, maybe a Douglas or Olivier. Right, absolutely, absolutely. Um, take oh yeah, can't take on. So yeah, this is where we're at. This is where we're at. So it's kind of tough to know. Like I'm just like I think that Ryan Johnson needs to be somewhat um active, but I mean, you don't want to be signing guys for 6 years, or I mean, even 3 years is fine, but I would prefer a 2 year process. Really would just prefer a 2 year process. So that would be great to see. That'd be great to see. So yeah, I mean, this is interesting conversation, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's earth shattering. And yesterday I kind of made it a little bit next level when it came to Gallagher and what's his name, Hoglander, because I thought that was a pretty important situation there. And if you know, I mean, if you haven't seen this video, please go check it out. Please go check it out. It's been a good one. So, but yeah, today we want to talk about the free agencies, and it just goes back to what I showed you yesterday about like this lineup. Where do these guys slot in? If you're talking about, a guy like Stenlund, as a center, like we already have Sasan, Ratu, Heedle. I don't even have on this list. I don't know if he's going to play next year. Clifton can be just a depth guy, kind of like a Forbert or a P.O. Joseph kind of guy. That would be okay, but I just don't want him taking away the opportunities for a guy like Mancini or DPD or people like that, right? So I just think those are important moments that we need to keep having, the Verlanders and the all these guys getting a lot of thing. And then of course, Vale, again, I guess we can slot him in, but it's kind of taking the Douglas spot. And maybe he's better than Douglas and he's an upgrade, but it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. And they're not going to play a ton, right? So like centers for next year are here: EP40, Rossi, Heedle, Sasan, Ratu, and possibly Coots. That's what we're talking about. So I don't know how you pull this off. I don't know how you pull this off. So when you're talking about some of these players, it just doesn't really make a ton of sense if you ask me. So let's get back into some more questions. Sensei Dean's in the building. Good to see you. I think Douglas deserves a chance. The only thing I think he needs to do is stick up for the smaller players. He seems to be able to skate, just learn how to hit. And to my opinion, and I could be wrong, but if you don't know how to hit by now, I think this is what you get. It's kind of like when we had Tyler Myers, and it's like this guy's massive, and he doesn't really know how to hit. He did get a little bit better at the end for sure. He had some monster booms for sure, but man, he just never ended up being the guy that we were kind of hoping. Physical. We were thinking more Chara, but he was nothing like Chara. He had some good traits. Did some good things. Don't get me wrong, but he was also called Chaos Giraffe for a reason. So, um, Angelo, good to see you. Morning, still vacation, nice cabin. Yeah, this is just the outside of the cabin. This is the deck part, overlooks the beautiful lake that we have, and it's just beautiful here. So, value in trading for next year's picks. Also, yes, I think we definitely need to be looking at trading DeBrusque for next year's picks. So to free up some space, so that's possible why they might be picking up some of these guys. I agree. Douglas, a 1.1 million, and tell him we want more enforcement. I think you can get him for 850,000. That's what I think. So, Rolly. So, still hearing from Hoaglanders leaving sniffs gives me time. Still healing from Hoaglander leaving. Okay. Yeah, give you time. You're sad to have him go. I liked watching him play. I called him a fan favorite on a video, and so many people were pushing back and saying fan favorite. He's not a fan favorite. I'm like, he was for me. I really liked watching him play, especially when he scored 25 goals, 5-on-5. That's when it was right. Everyone loved him then. We need toughness on each line. I don't think you're going to get it on each line. I mean, okay, so toughness. You're going to have Gallagher and DeBrusque who are tough. I don't think there's real toughness on that bro line. They're more of a scoring line. The third line, there's not real toughness there. There's a little bit of tough. There's only one tough guy right now on the fourth line. Yeah, I don't think we have any. So how do you do that? Yeah, I mean, we're talking about battling for spots for Ratu. Like, why? Ratu is absolutely fantastic. So 4C's, he's got to be like I don't know. Ratu is. I think he's a third line center personally, but I don't know. You can't trade heel. I just don't think. Oh, you can put him on the wing. You're right. You can put him on the wing, but I don't think his trade value has anything. I don't think there's any trade value for him at all. So, I mean, who wants to trade for? I mean, what would you have to give up? That kind of stuff. So, um, Krista's here. Anyone else here that Vale Hanola being toxic in the locker room? I asked as he's the youngest free agent I noticed. I haven't heard anything about him, so I can't put any two bits in for sure, for sure. But yeah, the Canucks are just talking about some different kind of players here, and it seems to me like Stenlund is the guy that people are really talking about, and Clifton as well. So I mean, I got them here in this picture right here. So this is the one that we have. So these are the four guys we talked about. We actually talked about five guys here. Obviously, we're not going to bring back Evander Kane. That was an awful experiment. But I mean, the other one that Thomas Drance talked about was his number one on the list was Ryan Shea, the left-handed shot defenseman of the Pittsburgh Penguins. But again, 29 years old. Um, he's got a ridiculous plus 30 rating that that just some NHL general manager out there is itching to pull out their owner's checkbook to buy. So he's a two-way defender. I don't know. I don't think there's anything really exciting about him either. I just don't. There's nothing. I'm like, oh, we got to get that guy. And truthfully, and I should have said this at the beginning of the video, is I actually have no like there's this unrestricted free agency is probably going to be the worst one ever. The last few years I've done 3-hour live streams on July 1st. Not me, man. Guys, I'm not doing one tomorrow. I mean, if the Canucks pick up some guys, then we're gonna do that. So yeah, Sensei Dean, the Canucks have zero interest in getting Nurse from Edmonton. That just makes zero sense. Zero sense to pick him up. So yeah, nobody. I mean, remember when he said, "Oh, he's asked for a trade," and then one of the the media guys was like, and then crickets. Nobody wants this guy for 9.25 million a year. Makes no sense. So it is what it is. Oh my goodness. Yeah, absolutely horrific contract. Oilers fans know it too. He just doesn't produce. But I mean, Pedersen's been terrible for 2.5 years as well. So it is what it is. So, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And but I should call it a day, guys. Thanks so much for showing up, for being here, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Believe in blue. Let's see what happens during free agency, and of course, always go Canucks, go.